How are we doing, everyone? Hope you're well. Mr. B here, and I'm back today for the Metal Tag 2025, a thread that always goes around the VC in January and always produces loads of great videos. The guys over at the Heavy Metallurgy channel provide the questions again this year, so cheers for the questions, guys. So 20 questions to go through. We're going to get straight into it. And apologies, I have to keep looking down at the questions here because my eyesight is shocking. But question one is a hype. Name an album that you're really looking forward to in 2025. There's quite a few I'm looking forward to. But no doubt about it, for me, the album that I'm really looking forward to this year is the new album from Bonded by Blood. This is their Feed the Beast debut from 2008. Definitely one of the best bands to arise from the resurgence of thrash metal back in the mid-2000s. So these guys put out 3 albums so far. The last one in 2012. The last one for me is easily the weakest. They had a new singer come in, and whereas he does a decent job, he's nowhere near as good as the original vocalist who appears on this album. And the original vocalist is back, so I'm very much looking forward to the new album from these guys, which is coming out in March. Excellent thrash metal. So that is definitely my answer for question number 1. The album I'm looking more forward to mostly this year. Definitely new Bonded by Blood album. Can't wait for that one to appear. Question 2 is show the 25th item in your collection. I've gone for records. So here we are. An original press of Acid Rain's The Fear, which originally came out in 1989. Excellent UK thrash. Reflection of Truth, Humanoid, great tunes. The Fear. Blind Aggression, Lost in Solitude. That's the 25th item in my collection. Acid Rain's full-length debut, The Fear, from '89. Great album. Check it out if you're into thrashing and not heard that. Question 3 is overdue. Name an older band that you checked out for the first time in 2024. This was an easy one for me. Is Atheist and Piece of Time, which I think originally came out in 1990. So this is one of those bands that I've seen around for years. I remember seeing these guys in magazines like Terrorizer back in the day before you really sort of relied on the internet to find out all sorts of things. Seen it shown across the vinyl community over the years. So finally got around to checking out, and I certainly wasn't disappointed. I picked this up, and the following 2 albums are all really, really good. Picked them up on CD because to pick up all 3 of these on CD cost the exact same price as it would have been to pick up one of the new reissues on vinyl. So grabbed them all on CD. Fantastic stuff. Piece of Time. Title track's great. Unholy Wall, Room with a View, Beyond, Why Bother, No Truth, stuff like that. Atheist was a band I slept on for ages, and last year finally got off my arse and checked them out. So that's the answer to that question. Atheist, Piece of Time, excellent album. Question 4 is Feeding the Monkey. How do you buy your music? For me, mostly Amazon, if I'm honest, because just the convenience of ordering it and it comes the very next day. I do still pick up some stuff on eBay as well. And sometimes go to the local record shop in town and see what they've got in there. Pick up some decent stuff from there every now and then. But it's mostly Amazon, has to be said, these days. Just the convenience of it turning up on your doorstep the very next day. Not always the most convenient, of course, because sometimes they deliver it to the neighbours by accident. So you have to go around knocking on doors to find out where it is. But never mind. Still convenient most of the time, has to be said. So that's my answer to that question. Question 5 is Enigma. Show a heavy metal album that musically is really hard to place in a heavy metal subgenre. I'm going to go with Living Colour. One of those bands that it's kind of hard to pigeonhole them into a certain style. For me, definitely a mix of hard rock. They've definitely got some funk in there as well, and some heavy metal as well. So it's really hard to sort of pigeonhole himself into a certain style. A fantastic band though, amazing musicians, great vocals as well, some insane guitar work, and the Living Colour. They're all fantastic musicians, but Living Colour is one of those bands that's always been kind of hard to pigeonhole into a certain sort of style or subgenre. So that's my answer for that question, Living Colour. Up next, number 6, which is show an album that you used to hate, but now you can't get enough of. I wouldn't necessarily say that I can't get enough of this, but I definitely love this album way more than I used to. And it's Anthrax Volume 8. The Threat Is Real. Used to absolutely loathe this record, and then went back to it about a year ago, 18 months ago. Gave it another listen and found out that I absolutely loved it. There's still a couple of tracks on there that are completely pointless and could do with not being on the album. But for the most part, I really, really enjoy it now. It's fantastic stuff. Jobless Era for me is, on the whole, is underrated. Catharsis is a great track. Inside Out has always been a banger. Toast to the Extras, Born Again Idiot, Killing Box, Stealing from a Thief. Last track is really good. I used to have no time for this record at all. The times have changed. Anthrax Volume 8, The Threat Is Real. That's my answer to that question. Up next, let's have a quick look. Question 7, Impulse. Show an album that you blind bought in 2024. Definitely this. It's Hypocrisy's debut album. Penetralia, which I'd never ever heard, never listened to them. Again, one of those bands I'd seen about for years. Never listened to them. I was chatting with Metal Mickey, I think it was on Facebook, and he happened to mention to me that this was on sale on Amazon for literally about £12. So I picked it up. And yeah, it's really good. Nothing outstanding, but it's good old school sounding death metal, which I like. Production's nice, some good vocals. Great tracks on this, like Suffering Souls is fantastic. Jesus Fall. Burnt by the Cross, To Escape Is to Die. Take the Throne. Some good death metal from Hypocrisy. Glad I finally got around to checking these guys out. Want to check out some more of their stuff. That's the answer to that question. Good stuff from them. That originally came out in 1992. Up next is what are we up to next? Question 8, sorry guys. Collector Scum, show a title that you own more than one pressing from. I've got 4 pressings of this next title. For me, it's Iron Maiden's No Prayer for the Dying. Here's an original UK press from 1990. Which is just on good old black vinyl. Very thin record, so you can definitely tell it's an OG from back in the day. An album that I think gets hated on a lot, unnecessarily. It's definitely not as good as the sort of 5 or 6 that came before it. I definitely don't think it deserves its bad reputation. Here's an original American press from 1990. A different inner sleeve there because black and white picture. The UK has the colour picture. And here it is. Epic Records on red vinyl. Pick this one up off of eBay. Great tracks on this, like Mother Russia. Underrated tune. Hooks in You, which everyone seems to hate, but I really love. Tail Gunner's great. Holy Smoke. It's a bit silly, but I still enjoy it. And here we have an original 1990 UK picture disc. Another eBay grab. It has to be said, the surface noise on this is not great, so I don't play it very often, but it looks fantastic. There it is. You've of course seen it in the thumbnail already. Run Silent, Run Deep's pretty good on this one as well. And the Assassin's okay, but that chorus is pretty piss poor when it comes to Iron Maiden, really. And last of all, this is the repress that come out about 2018. It's just on black vinyl, so there's no point in showing that. But there we go. That's my answer to that question. Collector Scum. 4 copies of the same album. Question 9. Show a Grails, something that you really wanted that you picked up in 2024. I was glad this album finally got reissued because the original prices, prices for an original press of this are in triple figures, and there's no way I'm paying triple figures for any album. Even though I really wanted it. But I'm glad it finally got reissued. And here's Poison's Native Tongue from 1993. An excellent blues rock record, which of course got completely ignored at the time because glam bands weren't cool anymore. But if you take your time to check out and listen to it, you find out it's an amazing blues rock record. Richie Kotzen replacing CC DeVille, and just an absolute massive improvement in guitar playing skills. No disrespect to CC, but Richie Kotzen is an absolute beast on the guitar. As far as the rest of the band goes, it's all the original members. It's a great album. Stand of the single is fantastic. That gospel choir is a great bit of production, it has to be said. Stay Alive and Two Suffs and Fire and Ice is a fantastic ballad. 7 Days Overused, great. Ain't That the Truth, Fear of the Soul, Strike Up the Band, Blind Faith, just a fantastic album that just really did not get the recognition it deserved as far as I'm concerned. Definitely a grail for me. I'd love to get an original, and if I do find my way out in the wild for not too much of a stupid price, I will pick it up. But for the meantime, this reissue will do the job nicely. An excellent underrated album there from Poison. Question 10 now. A plea to the VCLT gods. What is a Grail item that you're on the hunt for? If anybody out there has got a vinyl copy of this beast that they're willing to send to me, that would be absolutely fantastic. Although I highly doubt it, 'cause it's incredibly rare to come by, and why would you get rid of it? Priest Jugulator from 1997 for me. It's an absolutely amazing album that, once again, kind of got ignored at the time. I mean, to be honest, it got ignored by a lot of the Priest fans just because Rob Halford's not on it. And if that's the only reason you're ignoring this record, then you really need to check it out, because it's fantastic. Heaviest Priest album by a long shot. Tim Ripper Owens doing a fantastic job on the vocals. Of course, he was in the Priest cover band. Amazing range on his voice. Great tracks on this, like Bloodstained. The first track, Jugulator, is amazing as well. What else have we got in here? Burning Hell's really good. Abductors. The last track, Cathedral Spires, though, is an absolute beast. I highly doubt it's going to get reissued, because they just seem to not acknowledge the Ripper era at all. So it's going to be very hard to come by. It's going to be bloody expensive when it does shut. But yeah, if somebody out there wants to send this my way on vinyl, feel free. I'll be very grateful. That's my answer to that question. Judas Priest Jugulator. On to question 11 now. Boomerang album. Show an album that no matter how many times you purge it from your collection, another copy returns to you. I only ever got rid of this once, and saw it in the record shop that I took it to, and there was another copy there with better condition than when I had originally, so I got it back. And then when I got it back, I whacked on the turntable. I don't know why I got rid of it the first time. Here's Chrome Molly and Angst from 1988, I think. Just a really good hard rock band from here in the UK, which didn't achieve the success that they should have done as far as I'm concerned. It's nothing outstanding, but it's still a decent listen. Thanks for the Angst first track is excellent. Take Me On Yours, that's a Squeeze cover. I really like that as well. Come Back's a good tune. Take It or Leave It, first track on side B, is excellent. Cut Loose, Too Far Gone, Set Me Free. Good album from these guys. Definitely should have got a bit more recognition. But yeah, got rid of this once. Saw it again. Like I say, this copy in even better condition than the original one I had, and decided to buy it back and didn't regret my decision. Excellent stuff there from Chrome Molly. That's the answer to that question. Question 12. Reunion. Name an artist that you lost track of over time but reconnected with in 2024. Dream Theater. And here's Images and Words from 1992. I'm not a massive fan of Dream Theater, but I have this, and I've got Awake, the following album, in my collection. And I've had these CDs for at least 20 years. And last year I saw him in the CD rack. I thought to myself, I'm not listening to those in such a long time. So I listened to this and Awake last year, and I forgot how great these albums were. I mean, you know, Dream Theater, fantastic musicians, absolutely outstanding musicianship. James LaBrie's vocals are great. And this album, Awake, are fantastic. I mean, the opening track on this, Pull Me Under, is worth the price of admission alone. It's absolutely superb. Another Day's a great tune, a fantastic ballad. Under a Glass Moon is great. Wait for Sleep, Learning to Live. Yeah, kind of forgot how good Dream Theater were. Definitely reconnected with them last year. I know they've got a new record coming out soon with not Mike Mangini. Mike Portnoy, of course, back behind the drums, so I might have to check that one out. But that's the band I definitely lost touch with, that reconnected with last year. Dream Theater, that's the answer to that question. Up next is Upstart. Name a new band whose debut album impressed you. Didn't necessarily have to come out in 2024. I got this one in 2023 and I really enjoy it. Here's Tail Gunner and Guns for Hire. As you can probably tell by the name of the band, very much Iron Maiden worship, very much a Tesco value version of Iron Maiden, but this is still a good album I enjoy. Saw them at Bloodstock last year and they were really, really good fun. Old school new wave of British heavy metal, of course. Some decent vocals, some really nice guitar work, particularly some nice harmonising. Drums are really good. Shadows of War first track is absolutely fantastic. White Death is great as well. Rebirth, the last track. Some good sort of bog standard new wave of British heavy metal from Tail Gunner. This is their debut, of course. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Decided just to grab the CD. I don't like it enough to have it on vinyl, but still a good album, a good band. Hopefully more to come from those guys at some point in the future. So that's Tail Gunners, Guns for Hire. That's the answer to that question. Number 14, influencer. Show a band artist that you bought in 2024. The direct result of watching somebody else's YouTube channel. Quite a few people showed this, and this was like the last thing I picked up just before New Year, along with the new Opeth album. So quite a few people showed this, and decided just to grab it because a few people said it was really good, and I was not disappointed. And it's the latest album from Suicidal Angels, which is called Profane Prayer. I've listened to this about 7 or 8 times in the past week, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's really blown me away. Thrash metal, and it's fantastic. It's got that modern production, so some people, of course, will not be too keen on that, but it doesn't bother me. For me, the vocals took a bit of getting used to at first, but after about the 3rd spin, I didn't care anymore. It's just excellent. It's packed front to back with great songs. Some amazing riffs on this record. Like I say, I like the vocals now. I wasn't sure at first. Loads of great songs, catchy stuff. Suicidal Angels' Profane Prayer is amazing, and I'm glad I picked this up. So many people said so many good things about it, and they weren't wrong. It's absolutely amazing. I'm absolutely loving it. Fantastic album from Suicidal Angels. Some excellent new thrash that I'm really glad I picked up. So to the guys in the VC who showed this, cheers, much appreciated, because I didn't really know about them before, it has to be said, but that's a fantastic album, a fantastic band. Right, next question. Number 15, don't judge a book by its cover. Show a great album with bad cover art. This is an album that I really enjoyed, but it's the worst fucking album cover I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's the latest album from Wolfsbane, which is called Genius, which came out in 2023, I think. It is fully signed because I saw the guys live at a venue close to me just over a year ago. It's a really good album. It's a fun listen. Blaze Bailey sounding great on the vocals as always. Stuff like Spit It Out, the first track is fantastic. Zombies is great. Rock the Boat, Things Are Getting Better. Rock City Nights, excellent stuff. Running Wild. Just a really good, fun, sort of hard rock, heavy metal album to listen to. But that album cover is an absolute piece of shit. That looks like they came up with the idea for that about 10 minutes before I went to the pressing plant. An absolutely terrible album cover. God knows what they were thinking. But Wolfsbane's Genius is a great album with an absolutely horrendous album cover. So that's my answer to that question. Great album, terrible album cover. So number 16, show an album whose cover art was created by one of your favourite artists. To be fair, I don't really care or have any favourite artists, apart from Derek Riggs, of course. But this cover art I really like as well, and I do know who the artist is because he's done a lot of great artworks over his time. So I'm going to say Dan Seagrave. And there's Pestilence's Testimony of the Ancients. I absolutely love that album cover. Fantastic. Really, really good artwork. There's the back for you. Not only fantastic artwork, fantastic album as well. This is an absolute death metal masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. And that cover artwork is fantastic. Just looks amazing. Great tunes on this album. Twisted Truth is brilliant. The Secrecies of Horror, Land of Tears, etc., etc. Fantastic album and amazing artwork from Dan Seagrave. That looks fantastic. So that's my answer to that question. Dan Seagrave, responsible for a lot of good album artworks. Number 17, name an album that you would like to see reissued on the vinyl or CD. I'd definitely like to see a reissue of this on vinyl, and I didn't even have to think about this. I've waxed lyrical about this album before, plenty of times. Motley Crue and their self-titled album from 1994, the one that doesn't have Vince Neil on the vocals. John Corabi on the vocals, absolutely killing it. And I wish that they would reissue this, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Over the Christmas period, I went to H&V in my local town. And in the racks there, they had, of course, another reissue of Too Fast for Love, another reissue of Shout the Devil, Theatre of Hate, Girls, 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 2 reissues of Dr. Feelgood, albums that we just do not need constant reissues of. What we really need a reissue of is this beast, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Nikki Sixx and John Corabi, I think, butt heads quite a lot, and I think Nikki's just not going to put it out of spite. But it's an absolutely amazing album, and I'd love to get it on vinyl. It's just not going to happen, I don't think, though. But it would be fantastic if it did come out on vinyl. But we don't need another fucking reissue of Shout the Devil. What we really need is a reissue of this beast, because it's a fantastic album. I'd love to have it on wax. So that's my answer to that question. Not much left to go now. Number 18, name an album from a genre that you typically do not listen to very much. Didn't have to think about this one too much. And here's the Prodigy Experience, which originally came out in 1992, I think. Maybe 91. 92. So this was part of the rave movement here in the UK. So this came out when I was in high school back in the early 90s. At the time I was listening to lots of hair metal still. I was also listening to lots of thrash. Grunge was very much a thing as well. I was definitely listening to bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Stone Temple Pilots at the time. But at the same time, I was also listening to some of the rave scene, and the Prodigy Experience is a brilliant album that I had a cassette back in there and played to death. Great stuff. Tunes on this that I love, like Wind It Up. Out of Space, that was a single, great tune. Everybody in the Place, that was another single, great track. Your Love is fantastic. Charlie as well, that had the clips from the old TV adverts from the late 70s on it. Fire, great tune. Rough in the Jungle Business. Yeah, I don't listen to much electronic dance music, but I do love this album. The Prodigy Experience from 1992 is definitely my answer to that question. Fantastic album. Love that a lot. So great to get on vinyl at last. Question 19. What band do you hope to see live in 2025? No doubt about it. It's Mastodon. They're at Bloodstock this year, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing them. Now, there is a specific reason for me choosing Mastodon, and that's because they did play Bloodstock before, back in about 2015, and I was there. Unfortunately, though, I was so pissed, I don't remember anything about their set. I literally remember about half a song, and that was it. I'd had so many beers, by the time they came on, I woke up the next morning and thought, I can't remember anything about them. And they're playing again this year, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing Mastodon. Fantastic musicians, great band. This is a fantastic album. All their albums are really good, though. But that's the band I'm looking forward to seeing most this year, Mastodon. Yeah, don't really remember them at all from the last time, so I'm definitely going to make sure I don't drink as much before they come on stage this year. So that's my answer to question 19. Mastodon. Definitely looking forward to seeing them at Bloodstock this year in August. And then the last question is, give a shout out to 2 channels that you really like, that you discovered last year. So the first channel I'm going to shout out is someone who actually shouted me out, but I'm not just shouting them back out of politeness. I really enjoy this guy's channel. And that channel is George G's Room of Rock. George is a great guy. He's got a great taste in music. Very similar to me. Likes a lot of the hard rock from back in the day. And a lot of thrash and death metal as well. I've talked with him quite a bit on Facebook as well. So we talk on social media sometimes. Just a really, really nice guy. Great channel. Great collection. Like I say, similar sort of music taste to me. So that's what my first shout out goes to. George G for George G's Room of Rock. And my second channel shout out is going to go to... And my second channel shout out is going to go to Metal Never Dies over in Canada. Mark, who runs that channel. Fantastic channel. I really enjoy Mark's videos. He's got a great taste in music as well. I discovered him sort of early last year, I think it was, and I pretty much watch every video that Mark puts out. Great guy, great taste in music. Again, very, very similar to mine. And he's a great guy with a great channel. We always comment on each other's videos. So I'm definitely giving Mark a shout out. So that's Metal Never Dies with Mark over in Canada. I will leave links to both those channels in the description box of this video, of course. So definitely, once you finish watching this video, go and check out George's channel if you're not familiar. And go and check out Mark's channel if you're not familiar. That would be very much appreciated. Both great guys, both putting out great content. And definitely deserve some more sort of attention brought to their channels if you're not familiar with them. So there we go, guys. That's it. 20 questions done for the Metal Tag 2025. Apologies about having to keep looking down at my notes. Sorry, not my notes, the questions, but my eyesight is shite. And even with glasses on, with the print so small that I printed these questions out, and I still needed to keep looking down at the print. So again, apologies about that. Cheers to all the new subscribers. I picked up quite a few new subscribers recently, so I'm very much appreciating everyone who has subscribed to the channel lately, and of course I appreciate everyone who's been subscribed since day one. I'll be back with you next week with 10 out of 10 thrash metal albums, and I'll be back midweek as well with another video with my friend Paul, where we'll be discussing not the Who's next, but either Deep Purple's Fireball or Led Zeppelin 4. Both albums also came out in 1971, like the Who's next. So, as always, guys, jump in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the answer I gave to the questions. And as per usual, cheers, take care, and I'll see you later.